everybody, and welcome back to the 24th Annual Garden State Film Festival. We are live streaming from the beautiful Berkeley Oceanfront Hotel in beautiful Asbury Park. We're at the Shared Universe Podcast Lounge. My name is Ming Chen.
CJ Cullen.
And we have another one of our beloved filmmakers here. Could you please introduce yourself and the name of your film?
Yeah, my name is Duda Penteado. I'm the director of All People Free documentary about modern-day slavery.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. It's a documentary about modern-day slavery. What inspired this?
Well, it's been a journey of 2 years and a half. I met the founder of the organization, which the name of the film is actually the name of the institution. It's called All People Free.
All People Free.
And, you know, we don't, somehow when I get involved with the cause, we don't think a lot about slavery today somehow.
No, they're like,
we think we got over.
Right? It's like, no.
We got over the issue.
Yeah.
But the reality is we have 50 million and plus people involved in all kinds of systems and legally, obviously most illegally.
Right.
So there are 50 million people around the world involved in modern day slavery.
Right.
Wow.
And then I'm going to ask you these questions you probably don't know.
Yeah.
Which one you think it is the biggest industry that traps people in modern day slavery? What is it?
I mean, I would guess, you're about sweatshops, things like that, but I'm sure it's
It's a different answer there, right?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people say that. That's one of them.
Right.
They say prostitution. They say fast fashion, but it's something that I didn't know. Is making bricks.
Bricks?
Making bricks. Brick
40%.
Brick making.
Brick making. 40% of it is 20 million and plus people are entrapped and making bricks.
Wow.
Mainly in the areas of North Africa, Asian countries, and Middle Eastern countries, because the tradition throughout time, they were the first civilizations.
Yeah.
When you think about, in Egypt, where they were making.
The pyramids and things like that.
They were making bricks.
They were making bricks.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, that culture is still happening until today.
Yeah. I had no idea. So, how did you get involved with the All People Free organization?
Well, throughout friends, throughout the year, I'm a visual artist, fine artist. I one of the things I love to do is performance. So I begin to work with film, like filming my performances, and with that I got involved in interviewing people, and people, you have a talent. So I love documentaries because people cannot write the stuff people do. It's life. You can't think about it.
It's like, life.
I'm gonna write this script here, but I'm like, no, this is too crazy. Nobody would think about that. But what people do is insane.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, documentaries is a chance for me to address important issues. Mm-hmm. And once I got involved with the founder, I wanted to understand what the institution was doing, which, by the way, I would never do this project without the institution, because we're in danger places.
Yeah.
I was in places then there's a lot of radicals, there's a lot of movement of terrorists, and, if you're getting trapped in a situation, you might not come back.
Yeah.
So how do you go about doing that? How do you get the
I connect to the institution, and I found out all the work they were doing. They already do this work. All People Free Foundation does this work for more than 10 years in those areas. And through the institution, I had to have this conversation with the founder, asking him, are you ready to just start making more noise to let people know this is happening? He's like, well, now I am. I wasn't, but now I am, because I already have enough people on the ground doing the work.
Right.
And anything happens, I might not be able to go back to those countries, but they'll continue to work. So that was the first thing. The second thing we needed to think about who should be in the documentary, because some of the people on the ground, they can't be in a documentary because we endanger their lives.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we have to go through all of that, and then we're like, okay, let's do it. The good part of it, then, with the film and documentary, more people are being knowing, and more people are getting involved with this. And I gotta say that the U.S. is still the biggest country giving money to many important causes around the world. It's important to say that.
Yeah.
So all of that is happening, and the film is being traveling to film festivals, and the particular 10-minute documentary is we play today to this incredible organized film festival.
Yes,
I love the way you guys being organized and intentional. It helps me to get the word out there and get more people understanding the issue.
Did you play it, or are you playing?
We played today. It was about 1 p.m.
Okay. Yeah. And how'd it go? How's the reaction?
Every time they watch this, there's a big reaction. People ask a lot of questions, and so to me, that's the indicator. People wants to know, right? And to me, to make a great documentary, you need obviously to touch an important issue of today, but also make sure you work with the people living the problem, right? And this film definitely does that.
How long does this take you to create from beginning to end the entire documentary?
It's been a process of 2 years.
2 years.
I put the 10-minute really for the purpose of fundraising, but I really like it, and then I sent to film festivals.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I just finished the 1 hour documentary.
So I was going to say there's a longer version, obviously, right?
It's going now to film festivals.
Okay.
So, but I'm going to say I'm happy. I mean, what I saw there is painful.
So a lot of people watched it today. Maybe you're like, oh, we want to see more?
Yeah, I think they ask me about the next one, and I'm saying I'm going to be putting now through film festivals, and hopefully these 2 projects allowed me to create a docu series.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we touch in the 2 issues, right? What's modern slavery today is, which is from prostitution to organs to all kinds of different industries. But then we also focus in the brick making situation.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to talk about it, and a docu series you do tremendous justice.
Yeah, they're getting popular now. The docu-series, they do like the 3 episodes of 2 hours or 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Like it's all over the internet now, right?
Thank you, Amazon, Netflix,
Amazon,
and every other. They really people almost want to see the real person talking.
Oh yeah.
Remember before we used to watch a movie about somebody.
Right.
Like, no, let's get that person. Let's talk to that person.
The reality TV shows that kind of changed that right now. Like, let's watch the doc. I want to find out about the real person.
Is this your first documentary?
No. I have several others. I always won some awards. I have 10 awards now.
Amazing.
And I try to find important issues to talk about and interesting stories.
Yeah. What was the most challenging part about making this one in particular? I know getting access to some of the subjects, like say you don't put them in danger. But what was the most challenging part?
Yeah. One of the things I learned with the process, right, when you do a lot of underground projects, you're always thinking about situations, was when I filmed over there, overseas, I always use a crew from there.
Right, local crew.
So we kind of camouflage, right? If I bring a lot of people, you call attention, and people might not be, when you work with documentaries, not working with actors, right? So you got to get people relaxed and comfortable enough to just tell that story, then they don't even know how to say it, right? So when you get to the point, I think the story begins to be shaped not just at the large level of the issue, but in a personal story. So So, and I only did the project because I'll tell you this story. When we are traveling in Pakistan, we don't think about a lot about that today, but Bin Laden was caught in Pakistan, right?
Yeah.
So we just traveling in this van with 8 guys with guns, and later on, my friend tells me, those guys then help us to do the trips through these few days. Yeah. They are the same guards of the guy, for the Pakistani guy who called Bush to let them know where Bin Laden was.
Yeah. Wow.
So the way it happened, right? Bush knew. Yes. And then they were in the transition to Obama, and then we know what happened after. Right. But I'm like in the secret mission, traveling those countries. Right. Somehow it was totally in peace.
Yeah.
But we are like, is this real danger out there in some places?
Sure.
That's incredible.
So I guess that is the craziest thing that happened in this project.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
But I'm alive, thank God. And the story goes on. And
for sure. So you say you're working on the longer format version of this. What else are you working on? Anything
Yeah, you got
else?
any other doc ideas?
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah, there's few other ideas. Well, I'm trying to work now. There's another foundation that found out about us. We are, thank God, because the 2 films we did, the short and the long, we're talking to higher producers that can help us to really bring the money to do the docu-series.
Right.
Like
Oh, wow.
people don't talk about it, but a Netflix documentary simple is up to $3 million, $5 million.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I shot my film with 100,000.
Yeah, so it was a fraction.
You
so
know,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
nothing.
yeah. Right.
But thank God that those films are well produced enough to now getting attention of this guy.
Yeah.
So we are entering in a negotiations with them. And thanks to film festivals like this one,
Yeah.
you know, that gets us out there and gets us to connect to the next level, you know, possibility.
Build that audience.
Amazing. Awesome.
Awesome.
Hey, man, thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm glad you had such a great reaction. Thank you for being here at the Garden State Film Festival.
Sure.
And yeah, great luck with the longer format version and for telling the stories.
Yes. One of the things I love about this film festival is you guys do stuff throughout the entire year, right? So
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna try to
little
talk
events and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talk to guys again. Maybe there's some schools or some universities who can play the film.
Yep, for sure.
And you know,
It's true. I teach at high school that
yeah,
does
I
film.
mean,
so
I would
never-
love to come and play the film and have a conversation because I think we're really laying a foundation for this next generation to really address and push these things to the next level.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Thank you,
Awesome.
Dudum.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate, man.
Yeah, for
Thank
sure.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this
Thank
is
you for
great.
being here. Thank you guys for watching. We got more. We'll be streaming for the next few hours. So
Yeah.
stay tuned, everybody. And
To be continued with this guy.
to be continued. And yeah, we'll be
All right.
looking for all your future projects as well.
Appreciate
so
it, man.
yeah, for
Thank you
sure.
so much.
Yeah, thanks for watching,
Thank you.
everybody. We'll be back in a bit.
They have